I don't think there've been enough call-ins this morning. I'm just going to be honest. So as a punishment, I found a particular passage, a particular moving passage from the wonderful book, A Different Kind of Power by Jacinda Ardern. And I thought what I'd do with this passage, we're going to go back to the wonder years, the early years of St. Jacinda's time, when she was living with her family in Murupara, a lovely, delightful little boutique forestry village in the North Island. And she talks, we're going to go back to the age when Her Holiness was just 5 years old. And I'm just going to read you this passage. This is what happens if you don't ring in and engage with me. Not long after we started school, Louise and I were walking home together when we heard crying. It was a small boy, smaller even than I was. He was just across the street, his back to us. He was alone. It was cold by now, the kind of cold when snow settled on the mountain ranges and ice hardened on top of puddles. It was the kind of cold that gets into your bones, but this boy was wearing shorts and his feet were bare. He carried a giant backpack which dwarfed him completely. From beneath his shorts, brown streaks, diarrhea, ran down the back of his legs. My sister and I slowed down. The boy's sobs were loud and sounded a bit like choking. I was still so young, but I was old enough to have a persistent thought. He shouldn't be alone. My sister and I held hands and watched him silently. I think we both believed it was better if he didn't know we'd seen him. We watched him move farther from us, and all the while I willed as hard as I could, but silently, please, someone come and find him. And there endeth the passage. So isn't that deep that at 5 in Murupara, she tells us that she saw a boy, soiling himself on the street and did nothing. It's kind of a deep moment, isn't it, don't you think? Tells us an awful lot about Jacinda, and that is that she won't come and help you if you're all alone, absolutely losing it. I think we're going to find many more gems like this in the weeks, the months ahead. So I just have to mark that one as read. I've read that little passage. Wasn't that a fascinating little vignette from the life of the glorious Jacinda Ardern? What's your reaction to that? Do you scratch your head, someone like me, when you read a passage like that? You seem shocked by it. I didn't even have to look hard for that one, but I just thought it was such a bizarre thing to put in your book.
I just want to know what the further context.
No, there's a whole. That's like that end of the
it?
paragraph, and then it just goes on. The next sentence says, "Murupara was small enough that Louise and I were allowed to walk by ourselves to the small set of shops in the centre of town." She's completely forgotten the kid that saw his pants. Doesn't care about that. Let's move on. And the terrible thing that probably in Murupara today, there's someone listening to the show who is that little boy. I just want you to remember, and that person's probably listening today. I remember that. So that's the BH with her sister who never helped me when I lost it and I had diarrhea in Murupara that day. It was Jacinda bloody Ardern.